The info era brought us some fun things, like kids eating Tide Pods and more modern day scam artists in ancient Rome. But one of the more seductive things is social media. Yes, another anti-social media crybaby for you to get mad at. Just go back to TikTok. I got a comment from a good friend, and yes, I do read the comments, suggesting that I make a video on why I quit social media, and you should too. However, if I made that video, I'd be bullshitting. I haven't quit social media, and I don't plan on quitting social media anytime soon. I'm just a strange consumer of it, and up until yesterday, I honestly believed that every person could benefit from deleting social media.
But maybe if you can't make it through half of this video, then you should delete social media.
However, yesterday I was at Shisha with a friend, ruining my life and lungs, and he argued that the deletion of social media just masks an inevitable issue. You see, social media is here to stay. For most people, it's a way of life. Any concert, thousands of people have their shitty low-light iPhones up in the sky trying to get a photo or a blurry little film of the concert. Yes, at times, I'm one of those people. Running away from an issue you can't control or handle is not only not going to benefit you, it's going to harm you when you face another issue. What, are you going to run away from your child and your baby mama? You probably aren't as conscious as you think. You probably think that your media consumption is well-maintained, healthy, and it's not hurting you. Bullshit. Unless I have the strangest luck in getting to know people, almost every person I run into and interact with, 99% of them admittedly have a bad relationship with social media, yet they continue to use it. It's like a guy who's self-aware that he's addicted to weed, but because studies don't say that it affects him badly, he will continue to use it even though he doesn't do anything productive while high whatsoever, and he's high 24/7. The easiest way to distinguish someone who is affected by social media versus someone that is not is their level of activism about a topic or subject that they've never cared about. You'll find most people who support causes they've never read more than a Wikipedia description on are the same ones who move through life like an oxygen thieving NPC who's just gonna give you a trivial quest filled with frustration. These people study the times to upload. They spend serious time photoshopping each little detail in their photo just to upload it to their at most 3,000 followers, half of which are bots. Then when the time comes to upload and they hover their fat thumbs over that, they're practically sweating at the outcome of the post. They know if they don't get their little serotonin boost, they're gonna feel they're feeling depleted and depressed. But that is just one archetype. Then you get the group that honestly believes that what you see is what's reality. Oh, my friend is so happy in Hawaii with their best friend.
Oh, her abs and ass is so perfect.
This group commonly forgets that every person has dull moments, sad times, and things they can't share. But social media wasn't created for you to share the saddest times possible. It's generally used for people to flex. How those models you see on photo shoots, they don't do one-take photos. I would know. My friends are models. This archetype can be found oohing and eyeing over other people's lives because they fail to have any objectivity in how they view anything. Finally, the righteous one who deletes social media and cleanses themselves of it. However, all they do during this time is tell you that they deleted social media and how good they feel knowing that they've broken free from the change that everyone else has succumbed to, only to come back in 2 months' time and do the exact same thing. These are often the people who post about how they're grinding, or they set an alarm for 5:30 a.m. in the morning just to wake up and post a timestamp on their story to flex on you. But all these archetypes point to one thing. One of them is you. One of them is me. Finally, we have the awoken one, the god tier one, the one that trumps all. This person is one who allocates time specifically just for leisure, as social media is inevitable, and instead of running away, they just decide to allocate a small amount of time per day. This person tends to only do so after their priorities are met. Yes, this person exists outside the planes of the simulation. They've conquered it. They understand that while the competition is busy comparing their physiques to Ziz and crying about stuff that doesn't affect them, they work hard, relentlessly, and just for a little bit of time a day, they are on social media just to blend in with the rest of us. The funniest thing to me is that we feel like we have some kind of opinion that matters. I think this is because we've had 200 people voluntarily hit the follow button. At least we perceive it as voluntarily, and therefore it's as if our platform is now this large audience of 200 people all sitting around waiting for us to say something. And the funniest part, the most ironic part, is that those 200 people probably just pressed that button because they thought of the following. I know you and you know me, so I'll follow you and you follow me, but if you don't follow me back or you don't post something that's remotely interesting or I'm trying to grow my brand, I'm gonna unfollow you. For the most part, your voice, it doesn't matter. Those 200 people Most of them do not give a shit about you, especially if you're public and you're a hoe. Recently I was reading a book called Deep Work. Yes, I'm so smart, I read. In this, they describe the effects of social media and how your environment stimulation affects your residual attention span. They observed ultra high scoring GPA students and compared them with one that scored just under. And they realized that the ultra high ones spent less time studying but at a higher level of intensity with less distractions / non-distractions, versus the ones that scored just lower spent more time studying but had more distractions and worked with less intensity. This is important because most of us have goals, and anytime you're trying to achieve a goal and you're in a state of deep work, if something pops up and it distracts you, it throws you off. Hell, when I create these videos, I have to make them as attention and captivating as possible just to keep a Gen Z's attention, because now it's just random shit popping up all the time. Social media has trained us to become enslaved to not concentrating. It's great if you're on the opposite side of it and you're completely able to concentrate at given times, but if you can't, you're fucked. It's important because we need to give ourselves a damn mental stimulation break. If you're in line at a store with a dead phone, do you get uncomfortable or are you fine with being bored? I'd argue the majority would be uncomfortable. Hell, to be honest, I want to be stimulated all the time. I hate doing nothing, but this is just how we've been programmed by social media. We're like zombies walking through the motions. If I'm on TikTok, I have to catch myself actively being like, yo, I need to get off this app, because if I don't, I'm going to be stuck spending a lot of time on it. And then to have a double click before you exit, it's like it's forcing you like, oh, come on, just stay a bit longer. It's like the white van that pulls up with candy. It's like so enticing as a child. They're so blatant, but it's cute, you know? And look, I know someone is gonna say, yeah, well, I follow this person, and because I follow them, it's actually good information I'm getting. Okay, cool. You're spending an extra hour a day on a app watching someone's dog get them some water from a fridge. You just spent 15 days in a year. Yeah, I did the math for you. Social media isn't all that bad. Yes, you can connect with your grandma that you'll talk to 5 times this year and forget about. Yes, you can stalk the kids from your high school and validate your theories you had pertaining where they were going to go in the future. But besides that and the quick plans, it's mostly just a waste of time. If you're not sold on the numerous studies that keep coming out, then by all means, keep using social media. It benefits me. I guess I should just make it clear, but I'm not talking to the people who use it as an actual tool, how it's intended to be used. Well, not by the user, but we're supposed to see it as a tool. Clearly, you're not the target audience. I'm gonna assume if you use it as a tool, you control your time in and your time out, and you don't spend time in between wasting it dreaming about someone else's life. Maybe the reason people are afraid to just step back and try staying off social media is purely just because they'll come to realize how unimportant they are and how people don't actually care about their opinion. I know it sounds harsh, but every time I step away from social media, I'm surprised that I don't have more messages, but it's honest. I know that the people who follow me and interact with me, they're not waiting for Jake to post. They're not eagerly, oh my gosh, he's posting. No, it's unrealistic. People only care about their immediates, and besides that, everything is just an accessory. You know, I recently came back from a trip from Paris, and the amount of people that I run into who do follow me will say to me like, oh, I know you just returned from like London. I'm like, I've been posting about Paris for the past 3 months. But it's honest, you know, other people have their own lives, so you can't be mad, and who the could be? It's so funny. I actually see social media as one of the best things for our generation. The people who actively find a way to use it as a tool, the people who capitalize on the bot-like whiny generation we have, are the real winners. If you're in the business of making money, make an app that changes every 3 seconds, insert some age-relevant shitty quote, and boom, you've hit the Gen Z market. In fact, you've just roped them in. You know, add some extra flares and some sheesh, and all of a sudden, you know, you've just made yourself a millionaire. Instead, just put that toward work, and you'll see a lot better benefits derive than you having some generalized knowledge on some pseudoscience bullshit that the rest of the world is going to be thinking when they see it trending on their TikTok. Whee! Bye-bye. I spent a lot of time making these videos, so if you did enjoy this, please remember to like. Hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. I'll catch you in the next one.